I don't care about what's happening on this Borg ship. I wonder if it's too late for me to ask CBS for a refund. Hi guys, Q64 here, and today we're going to be talking about Picard episode 3. Man, doing these week-to-week reviews of these episodes has me thinking more about these episodes than I actually really want to. I'm definitely rethinking this idea. I'm thinking that I should have just waited till it was all out and then checked it all out once they were all released. Because watching this week to week, it's like watching a mud ball roll downhill and just collect shit on it the whole way down. In other words, this show is going downhill, and I was really hoping for more. Yeah, this one's bad. This one's bad, guys. It just is. I didn't see anything really redeeming in this. Yeah, let's go ahead and kick it off. I hope you guys are ready for the truth.
Oh, geek.
True. 64.
Geek.
Truth.
Geek.
True. 64. Oh, shit.
So, yeah. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of positives for this one. I'm sorry, guys. I really wish I did. I didn't like this episode. I just straight up didn't like it. I saw very little redeeming in this. So let's go ahead and talk about it. One thing I will say, the one positive I will definitely give it, is that I really liked the uniforms. That's about it. No, but seriously, they flash back to when Picard gave in his resignation and left Starfleet, and you get a shot of the uniforms, or how the uniforms looked then, and I like the design. Thumbs up for the design. Costume designer, you did a great job, and you're about the only one who did a great job here. So in this scene with the cool uniforms, we get Picard talking to Rafi. Rafi was the woman that we met at the end of the last episode, episode 2. Here you find out that she's tied into the whole planning of the Romulan evacuation, and they kind of allude to the fact that she planned most of it, and Picard, I guess, didn't do a whole lot. At least that's what I get out of this. And Picard is basically like, hey, I'm going to resign if you don't do this. And then they pull out, and that's it. And then they tie it into the whole synth thing, the whole robots are bad thing, androids are bad thing, which they're just like, oh yeah, there was just a fatal error. And that's why. No thinking that obviously they were hacked. So obviously it's a cover-up because Starfleet's not that stupid, which is dumb. So for episode 1 and episode 2, I gave the writers the benefit of the doubt on this, and that they weren't just going to make Starfleet be just evil organization. They were just going to have a differing point of view from Picard. And I've said that in the previous 2 episodes. However, here, it just seems like they're really dumb, which I don't believe, or they're really corrupt. Those are 2 options. And in it, they talk about Picard actually uses the words tolerance and fear to describe Starfleet. Intolerance, really? It's Starfleet. It's the Federation. It's there's thousands of planets. The whole definition is about intolerance. They're beyond that. And even if it wasn't, the only reason why they don't want to help the Romulans is because the Romulans have been mortal enemies. But you can tell the writers don't understand that because they don't even care, because they're just like, yeah, Romulan's a bad guy, so Starfleet's not going to help them. Did we just forget about Nemesis? Did we forget about all the inroads that they made to connecting with the Romulans? Did we forget about that TNG episode where Picard and Spock started to build relationships with Romulus? Are we forgetting about all that? Are we forgetting about Deep Space Nine? Are we forgetting about the Romulans helping the Federation defeat the Dominion? Are we forgetting about all that? Apparently, we're not forgetting about it. They just didn't know about it. Because I refuse to believe the writers knew that and are still taking it in the direction that it's going. I don't like it. I don't like the Starfleet being called intolerant. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Yeah, let me get off my box and keep moving on with this episode. Because of this, Rafi gets fired, I guess. She gets let go from Starfleet or whatever. For under what grounds, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of real sketchy stuff going on. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe they'll explain it later, but I feel like they're not. I think their explanation is just Starfleet's bad. Bad Starfleet. That's what they're going to go with. Because it's intolerant. And anyway, so she gets fired, basically, and that's why she doesn't like Picard. So we cut to Picard meeting her present day, and that's why she doesn't like him. She calls him out for living in the vineyard and having wood beams and being in a nice mansion while she's living in like a trailer somewhere, like calling out that he has money. There is no money. This is a utopian society. They've eliminated poverty. Money does not exist. The whole point of Star Trek is that we've evolved past that, and people live their lives to enrich and better their lives and achieve goals outside of monetary value. That's one of the fundamental things about Star Trek. But no, we're going to have you wave your finger at Picard for having a vineyard while you live in a trailer in the middle of the desert, I guess. And she vapes. She's vaping, guys. She has a vape. And I will just say that, so in these two scenes, just bad acting. Especially in that flashback scene with those cool uniforms. The acting from Patrick Stewart is possibly the worst acting I've ever seen him give in his entire life. His entire life of anything that I've seen. It's bad. He didn't care. He's like, oh, I resigned from Starfleet and that's it. I mean, he doesn't seem to give much emotional care to anything. He's delivering lines, and you can feel he's just delivering lines. If you pick almost just about any random episode from The Next Generation, well, outside the first couple seasons where they were getting their footing, once he's settled into the role of Picard, you can pick any of the episodes, especially the ones featuring Picard as the primary protagonist in those episodes, and the acting he gives in that show is amazing. If you can compare anything he does in The Next Generation to what he's doing in this episode, it's terrible. It's terrible. You can tell he doesn't care. I don't know if this was part of the rewrites and he was frustrated because of the rewrites and he didn't care, or if he's really just came back for money. I have no idea what the reasoning is. I'm just telling you, watching it, it doesn't come across as good. It's bad. And I said this in the last episode review that I did. This whole show revolves around Picard. If Picard, Patrick Stewart, can't carry the show, then the show falls apart. He's the only reason I'm watching it. He's the only reason I care about anything that's happening. Because these characters suck. This plot sucks. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, let's go ahead and get on to the next thing. So then Picard meets the pilot that she directs him towards, and the pilot has an EMH program or whatever, and which also, if there's EMHs, are basically the same thing as androids. I mean, they're all programmed. So why are EMHs and holograms still allowed to exist, but androids can't? Synths can't. And I don't like calling them synths either. It feels too much like Blade Runner to me, but either way, there's a big loophole. Anyway, he meets this pilot, and he's a rough and tumble, edge of your seat kind of guy, and whatever. Anyway, you meet him, and he's got some shrapnel on his shoulder, and I guess that's to show the audience that he's doing things, and he's a badass, I guess. Whatever. I don't even remember his name. I think it was Rios. There could be some potential in the character based on what they showed in this episode. But again, I have very little faith that they're going to carry through with making anything interesting here. And honestly, this ship looks like a ripoff of Mass Effect. It does. It looks like a ripoff of Mass Effect. The ship's pretty bland, and it is what it is. It's kind of pointless. And then you get Picard being attacked by the Romulans again, the Romulans in biker gear, the biker Romulan gang from Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, the two Romulan friends that he has, the couple that's living with him, fight him off. And then the scientist lady just shows up randomly and takes out a Romulan. After she just met with the other Romulan spy earlier in the episode where she was wearing sunglasses, and I don't even know what the point of that is. I've never seen a character in Star Trek Next Generation onward wear sunglasses from the 80s, 1980s, unless it involves time travel. But either way, her just showing up and killing a Romulan right at the end, it's obviously a setup. She's a mole. She's definitely a mole. She's a mole. She's in on this and whatever. So she gets roped in with Picard. Picard's like, yeah, sure, you can come along. And then you get Picard on the ship with Rios and the scientist lady, and then Rafi, who is coming along for whatever reason. And Rafi figured out where Maddox was somehow. They don't explain it really. She just gets on the computer and, I know where he is. We're going to go here. I'm not on your crew, but I'm going to come with you. Yes. Okay, whatever. So that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And you may be asking, what about Daj? What about the other one? For those who haven't seen my previous episode reviews, I called the other Daj sister the other one because what does her name really matter? She can apparently speak other languages. She can tap into random things that she didn't know about. And she's in love with this Romulan she met 3 days ago. And we're supposed to care about their relationship, and we're supposed to care about this character, but we really don't. They talk about Borg stuff and Romulans and what the Romulans are doing in the Borg. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care about what's happening on this Borg ship. I don't care about Daj's other one. I don't. There's nothing that makes me emotionally connect with this character in any way. Really, any of the characters they've introduced outside of Picard. The Romulan couples probably has the most potential for us to care about because of how much they care about Picard, which is a character we care about. So by proxy, you'd think that we would care about them, but we don't, because there's nothing they really do. There's nothing for them to do. One thing you do get on the Borg ship is Hugh. Hugh was finally shown. Now, I knew Hugh was in this, and if you don't know who Hugh is in several episodes of TNG, 3 total, I think, and they're really good. Hugh is a cool character, and he looks cool here. I guess that's another positive. So the cool uniform design, and Hugh's here. That's about it. That's about it as far as the positives go. But Hugh, there's nothing Hugh can do to elevate this story. There's nothing this actor can do. There's nothing this character can do to elevate this story because I don't care. I don't care about the mysteries here. They don't matter. Everything in the show is just going downhill. I've been pretty middle of the road. I liked most of the first episode, which was above an average score for me. The second episode, weaker. Third episode, massively downhill. And this is just Game of Thrones season 8. Except for I didn't have 8 years building up to it. I can choose to disregard this as canon just like I did Game of Thrones season 8. Which is what I'm doing, because this is not Star Trek. This is not anything to do with Next Generation. It doesn't even feel like Picard. It really doesn't. And there was some potential here, but they don't care. This show is turning into Discovery. It's turning into Star Trek Discovery. I don't like Star Trek Discovery. If you like Star Trek Discovery, that's fine. Objectively, it's an average sci-fi, so I can see why some people might enjoy it. But if you like Star Trek, you're pretty much guaranteed to hate Discovery because Discovery is not Star Trek. It isn't. It's terrible. It doesn't fall in line with anything that Star Trek fans have come to know Star Trek as. Again, there's just a fundamental misunderstanding of what Star Trek is. And this is across the line with multiple franchises, but Star Trek in particular. Overall, so far, this is as basic a sci-fi as you can get. The acting has been mediocre to bad. The characters all the new characters, or you don't care about them, or they're bad. Even Patrick Stewart's can't even elevate what's happening here. I feel like he doesn't even care. The mysteries that they throw at you so far are uninteresting, and nothing that they've given us has given us real reason to care outside of it's just a mystery. And this is just lazy writing. This is one of the things that's wrong with just everything in entertainment across the board. Throwing out mysteries and then thinking the audience will just be invested of it because it's a mystery. That doesn't work. It doesn't. You have to give us a reason to care about the mystery. You have to set up clues for the mystery, and then you have to solve the mystery. That's it. I learned that from Scooby-Doo, guys. Yeah, so overall, this is a lot shorter review, and I'm going to try and do shorter reviews for Picard because I could literally go on for 30 minutes each on each of these episodes, but that's my overall thing on episode 3. I think episode 3 is a mess. So only positives I can give it: Starfleet uniform design's good, Hugh's in it, and the effects are good. That's about it. So again, I'm not rating these episode by episode. I will give an overall rating for the series when it is completed. I'm not 100% sure how many episodes are left in this. I wonder if it's too late for me to ask CBS for a refund. Because I really want my money back. I want my money back. This show, as far as behind a paywall, is inexcusably bad for being behind a paywall. It is. If you put something behind a paywall, it's got to be quality. And this is not quality. Maybe your expectations. My expectations would be a little bit more lenient if this was on regular TV. But the fact you put it behind a paywall changes my opinion on it. As a Trek fan, I would still hate it, I think, regardless so far. But I'd be more lenient on it because they aren't trying to hide it behind a paywall. So, yeah, I wish I could get my money back because CBS All Access is not a good platform. I envy you guys in Europe. If there's any of my viewers in Europe, I envy you guys for being able to just check it out on Amazon. I think it's included with Prime. I have no idea. But I do know that it's only, CBS All Access is only here in the States. So, and I think Canada, I don't really know, honestly. I know that in North America, CBS All Access is the only way you can watch this show. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys check out episode 3 of Picard? Do you guys plan on watching it whenever it's over with? At this point, I can't necessarily recommend it. And I have a really bad feeling it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse, guys. But I do want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Thank you, subscribers, for being awesome. And if you like this review, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a bigger. I'm Pichu64, and I'll always tell you the truth.